This is, my friends, the segment Goat or Note.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
If you have not played Goat or Note before, just to let you know, we're going to put two images above, and we are going to have to decide who is the GOAT of these two images. It could be a franchise, it could be a saga, it could be an actor, it could be a character, but you have to choose between these two. Even if you're like, you know what, but I have someone else that's way better than these two, we still got to choose the GOAT between these two. And first up is, of course, you guys may have seen it in the description, which is the GOAT Penguin, Colin Farrell or Danny DeVito. Dun, dun, dun. This is a hard one. I'll just put it out there. When I was building it, I was like, this is simple because of recency bias, of course. But if you go back and you watch Batman Returns, you are like, one, this is the thing of nightmares and scared me all to heck when I was a little kid. And two, this is so Penguin. It's so on the nose. But like the top hat, the disgustingness, the sewer dwelling, his henchmen, there's just so much that make him Penguin. And then when you go to Colin Farrell, you were like, this feels like if Penguin existed in our world today. What he did with this character, it is arguably the best villain portrayed on big or small screen in history. I'm not saying it's the Joker, Heath Ledger, anything like that, but I am saying he has now put himself in the conversation for best portrayals for a comic book villain of all time. So now is the time to decide, my friend, now that I've been filibustering for you, of these two fantastic and very different portrayals of the Penguin, which is your GOAT?
I'm going to have to go with Danny DeVito for Batman Returns. And it's a similar reason why when we talked about Christian Bale versus Robert Pattinson, where I love Robert Pattinson's performance, but he's not fully fledged Batman, while Christian Bale was a fully fledged Batman. He was the whole character. Danny DeVito is the Penguin. Colin Farrell at the end of the series got to where the Penguin would be in the comics, but we didn't get to see him be that guy, get really like over the top and own the Iceberg Club and start doing things on his own. It was kind of like the coming up story and things like that, which was great.
He's still getting there.
Yeah, he's still on up. We're probably going to see it in Batman too, since he's going to be in that film more. But as of right now, where they stand, I think Danny DeVito for me is the GOAT.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's wrong, but no, I'm just kidding. I you know, this is so hard for me because Colin Farrell blew us away with his performance of the Penguin. I mean, from the prosthetics to the acting, to the voice, to the story. I mean, the good thing with Colin Farrell is that the scripts were so good and the storytelling was so tight that it just invigorated something in Colin Farrell to have like one of the best performances of his career.
Yeah.
However, when it comes to the best portrayal of Penguin, when you think about the Penguin, you can't help but think about how comic book accurate Danny DeVito's The Penguin is, from comic books pages to movie screen. And this was so hard for me. But at the end of the day, when you look at the Penguins with Danny DeVito, you're like, this is the Penguin from top to bottom. Without saying a word, this is the Penguin. When you look at Colin Farrell, you're like, is this Richard Kind, the actor? No, but you're like, okay, but like, I need a little bit more. Like, I need to watch the story. And then I'm starting to be like, this is the Penguin through and through. This dude, Danny DeVito, barely has to say a word. And you're like, this is frightening. And this is the Penguin.
Yeah.
When it comes to, you know, the hands, the storyline of being the mayor, Oswald Cobblepot, from being a wealthy to being thrown away in the sewers. It's just everything is there straight from the comics, and you can't help but think like, this is the Penguin. When I think of the Penguin, this is the image burned into my mind. It's so iconic the way Danny DeVito played it. It's disgusting. It's hard to look at times. That is the Penguin. Not saying that Colin Farrell's the Penguin is a very handsome chap by any means, but I just think Dan DeVito takes the cake when it comes to what the Penguin is from the comics to the big screen.
And it's so iconic that it's affected every animated showing of the character afterwards. It's all of them seem similar to the performance of Danny DeVito.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and we're gonna see more of it. So, can this debate change in a couple years when we potentially get a season 2, or seeing the Batman part 2 or 3? Of course, but right now, it's just Danny DeVito is so iconic. This image when it comes to the character Penguin. So, I agree. All right. Drop a comment below. Let us know who is your GOAT Penguin, or maybe we didn't have one up on here and you want to suggest one. We'd love to hear your thoughts. With that down, I wanted to get into this GOAT or Nope. Which is the GOAT or Nope action spy thriller saga? The Bourne Identity or the Mission Impossible saga? Got you back.
Oh no. See, this is why I can't let you on to my stream. Because you heard me go talk about how much I love Bourne Ultimatum, and then you're gonna disrespect me like this. As soon as you said Spy Saga, I was like, oh no, he's gonna do Bourne versus Mission Impossible.
And that's what creators do, right? They take from their experiences and they put it into their art.
This is only hard because I don't want to disrespect the Bourne franchise because I love.
I know. And it's hard because, Mission Impossible is this interesting franchise that, started out really a tour and really cool, then became very like shoot 'em up and generic. And then it got redone into this amazing theater going action experience that you need to witness to behold. So it had a long journey that got itself to a reputation of being an iconic franchise, which, 10 years ago or more, it was almost out the door, and it was revitalized with great filmmakers to become a very iconic spy action thriller saga.
Yeah, for me, it's Mission Impossible. I think these are some of the greatest, if not the greatest, action movies that we've ever gotten. 4, 5, 6 are
For
probably
Mission Impossible,
for Mission Impossible, probably the greatest action movies we've
Ghost
ever
Protocol,
Rogue Nation,
and
Fallout.
Free Guy. No, Fallout.
Free Guy.
Only. Next one. Those
# give me Free Guy too.
It's seriously, please. It is very, very reminiscent of 4, 5, and 6 for 5, 6, and 7 for Fast and the Furious. You know what I mean? Like, it's not every day that a big franchise hits its stride in the middle and you're like, now it's iconic. So this is hard because for Bourne Identity out the gate, this revitalized how we see action spy thrillers. It revitalized the entire genre out the gate, and then it hit some lulls. And then with Jason Bourne, people were like, that was good. But that's kind of where we're at with that franchise. So very much both of these had a little bit of a roller coaster. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, especially with Mission Impossible 2, which a lot of people don't like. I like that movie, but it is the worst of the 8 movies that we have. But being the worst of a phenomenal franchise is not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? But it has to be Mission Impossible because even I said 4, 5, and 6, but 3 is great as well. I love 7, and 8 is a mess, but I love 8 as well. So I have to pick Mission Impossible. Fallout is so good that it trumps any of the other Bourne movies just on its own.
Yeah, it's like it's Dark Knight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the franchise's Dark Knight. This was hard for me because as you talked about on Movie Club, the Bourne Identity trilogy, the original trilogy, means a lot to a lot of people who are moviegoers. It
Yeah.
really revitalized this genre in a big bad way in the late 90s, early 2000s, and it put Matt Damon on the map, and
Yeah.
the way it was shot, of course, people now poo-poo on shaky cam, but the action, the way it thought, I mean, it paved the way for more iconic stuff like John Wick and a lot of action that we see today. It influenced that. Arguably, it influenced what we see on Mission Impossible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it is hard. But at the end of the day, I think I have to go with Mission Impossible because it's just that much more of a consistently good saga. Every
Yeah.
movie since 3 has arguably gotten better than the last. And it's very hard for a saga to say that. And unfortunately, Bourne Identity, with, the 3 or 2 movies that came out after, it didn't get that kind of love. And so for right now, I do have to say that Tom Cruise's, I would love to see that swap. Please, someone AI that. I will have to say that Mission Impossible is the GOAT spy action thriller for now. Whew. I had to put that out there. But that is GOAT or Nope. Let us know your GOAT or Nope. Was there a action spy saga that we might have forgot that you think takes the cake? Drop a comment below and let us know your thoughts. That, my friends, was...
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!